Is there anyone out there who doesn't like ice cream? Even if you have dietary restrictions, there are plenty of frozen treats you can enjoy. While a quick trip to the grocery store or the local ice cream shop is always an option, there's a new gadget that makes it easy to make a variety of frozen desserts more easily at home. I'm Erin from Tech Gadgets Canada and TechGadgetsInternational.com, and I recently had the chance to try out the Ninja Creami dessert maker. It's not really an ice cream maker. The premise is it's a lot easier and less work. So in this review, I'll take a look at what this machine can do, how it works, if the frozen desserts it makes are any good, and if I can recommend it for you. If you want to read this topic or reference any of what I'm about to talk about here, you can head over to techgadgetscanada.com for a full write-up. And there you can ask any questions you have about this ice cream frozen dessert maker. You can also post them here in comments below. What exactly is the Ninja Creami? This is an ice cream, gelato, milkshake, sorbet, smoothie bowl, and light ice cream making machine. It churns out small 16-ounce pints of frozen treats, but unlike traditional ice cream makers, you don't need to prepare custards, cook your base, or freeze special bowls. The premise of this machine is that you can use very few ingredients. In some cases, it will work with just a can of fruit, and you can prepare fresh, tasty, and healthy desserts. The machine automates 7 different programs, and you carry them out with the touch of a single button. The machine comes with a recipe booklet that can guide you through several different options, and you can easily dream up your own creations too. So what do you get in the box? You get the machine, of course, which Ninja calls the motor base with dual drive motors and Creamify technology, a special locking bowl and lid, plus 2 pint containers and what's known as the creamerizer paddle, which is what shaves and churns ice particles into your frozen treat. Okay, let's talk about using the Ninja Creami. Before you get too far, it's important to note that you're going to need to choose your recipe, mix up the ingredients, and then freeze them for a full 24 hours before you can enjoy your dessert, so you will definitely want to plan ahead. The machine will make frozen dessert out of a variety of different ingredients. For the most part, it uses a simple mix of milk, cream, sugar, and cream cheese to make ice cream. There's also a cooked custard base version if you want to upgrade. It'll also turn a can of fruit like mandarin oranges, peaches, or pineapple into a sorbet. Important to note though is that your can of fruit needs to be in juice or light or heavy syrup. Using canned fruit with no added sugar, such as fruit in water, may actually damage your machine. Ninja doesn't really explain why, but it seems the sugar maybe helps prevent the ingredients from freezing too solidly, allowing the machine to whip them up a little more effectively. The machine will also make dairy-free treats using unsweetened coconut milk or coconut cream, and it can make less sugary options by varying the different types of sweeteners, including agave syrup, stevia, or corn syrup. There is also an option for fresh fruit-only sorbet that does not require added sugar. Enough talk though, it is time for ice cream action. I used the Ninja Creami to make a variety of desserts, and let's start with the ice cream. The ice cream recipes can be pretty simple. I opted to make what's called fruity cereal ice cream. The cereal gets soaked in milk to absorb all its flavor, then strained and mixed with the other ingredients like milk, sugar, cream cheese, vanilla, and cream. Then they're poured into the pint container and frozen for a full 24 hours. When you're ready, remove the lid from the pint container and click it into the special bowl. Attach the creamerizer paddle to the lid, then lock that into place on the bowl. Next, lock the entire bowl into the machine and select the ice cream program. The machine will run for about 2 to 3 minutes, churning your ingredients for you. There's an option to add additional cereal pieces by using the mix-in program. This essentially stirs extras in at a lower velocity. When the mixing program is done, remove the bowl and take out your pint. Your fruity cereal ice cream is ready to eat. I can say that the very limited ingredients made this recipe super easy to make, and the flavor is really out of this world. The ice cream option is definitely going on repeat in our house. Next up, I wanted to try a sorbet option using canned fruit. I had a can of both peaches and mandarin oranges on hand in light syrup, so I realized both of these would fit the bill nicely. Making a sorbet using canned fruit is as simple as opening the can and dumping the fruit and the juice into the pint container. You'll want to make sure not to go past the max fill line, then cover the container with the lid and freeze for the full 24 hours. When you're ready, choose the sorbet program on the machine. It'll run for a few minutes until your treat is ready. If it comes out looking crumbly, this likely means your freezer is extra cold. You can run what's called the re-spin program to get a creamier result. The taste was really great. Real, pure fruit flavor that's a nice, refreshing change over processed grocery store frozen desserts. Before we wrap up my test desserts, let's get a closer look at how the machine seems to be working. It seems to lower that blade that's inside the lid down and onto the ingredients, kind of like an auger, shaving them up into a thin layer at a time until it's all been broken apart. Then it kind of seems to whip those shavings around into a creamier texture. The last frozen treat I tried in my review period was a dairy-free coconut cherry smoothie bowl. This recipe uses fresh or frozen fruit pieces and coconut milk to create a frozen breakfast or dessert bowl. The recipe is as simple as adding the fruit, then topping to the fill line with coconut milk or coconut cream and freezing for the full 24 hours. This one whipped up on the smoothie bowl program, and it came out almost crumbly or powdery, which frozen coconut milk will do. So I opted to let this one sit out and warm up for a few minutes before serving, giving it a stir, and that actually helped it soften up and become a little more cohesive. It made a fine, creamy breakfast base for fruit and granola. Overall, I can say the recipes are very easy and offer a lot of different options for flavors and dietary changes. Each of the treats was quite tasty and easy to make, with the most difficult part being waiting 24 hours for the ingredients to freeze. The machine has a few important caveats that seem somewhat intimidating. For starters, you have to ensure that your pints have frozen flat inside the container. If any of the liquid inside has been frozen at an angle, or it's tipped over, or your pint has been scooped out partially and then refrozen unevenly, this could actually pose a problem for your machine. If you've already dug in and have leftovers, you'll just need to scrape the ice cream or the sorbet and mash it flat so that you can then safely whip it up again if you want to. But for the most part, after my ice creams and sorbets were mixed once, they were still great the next time and just needed a minute to soften up enough to scoop. The machine is designed to process bases that are between about 9 degrees Fahrenheit and -7 Fahrenheit, so you may need to adjust your freezer's temperature in order to get the best results and the right consistency. Your frozen treat mixes need to be frozen for that full 24 hours, like I mentioned earlier. While it may seem like they're frozen after less time, the entire bowl and all the contents need to reach its absolute coldest temperatures before it can be processed to avoid damaging your machine. Ninja also points out that the machine is not a blender and should never be used to process a solid block of ice or to crush ice cubes. It also shouldn't be used to make a regular smoothie or to process hard or loose ingredients like frozen fruit. And frozen fruit, by the way, must be crushed to release its juices or combined with other ingredients and then frozen solid again before processing. That seems like a lot, but fortunately the instructions are quite clear in the included manual. When it comes to the cleanup, the pint containers plus the locking bowl and lid are all dishwasher safe. Overall, I am surprised at how much I've enjoyed using this machine. I thought it would be quite limited and more complicated, but I'm really impressed with how few ingredients are actually required to make truly delicious frozen desserts. I'm a huge fan of the ice cream and the fruity cereal ice cream in particular. I love the sorbet option as well, particularly since they can be made with nothing more than that can of fruit. But there's also a variety of non-dairy and light options too. The machine is easy to get the hang of and it seems to work really well. When it comes to the downsides, the machine itself is a bit on the large size. It's quite tall, meaning it might not fit under every kitchen cabinet. It also does take a full 24 hours to freeze your ingredients before you can make anything, so last-minute desserts are out. You've got to plan ahead. As well, most of the recipes do require some type of sweetener. Some folks may also be disappointed at the size output. You're really getting only 1 pint at a time, and the machine does come with 2 pints, which may or may not be enough for larger families. Those caveats aside, this is actually a great way to make more wholesome frozen desserts at home with fewer ingredients, no preservatives, and a great variety of flavors. I can definitely recommend the Ninja Creami to you. It sells for about $229 US or $249 Canadian, and you can get it from Ninja or from Amazon. If you're interested in smarter kitchen gadgets that do more for you with less effort on your part, check out the review of a cooking robot I tried, the Thermomix TM6. Or you might be interested in sous vide cooking. I reviewed the Breville Joule sous vide machine and found it's an easy way to never overcook something. Check out those videos right here on the channel.